Okay, so as a brief disclaimer for this video, I will not be showing any of the contents inside of this book. The reason being isn't because I think it's dangerous per se, or because I think that it is bad, but because uh, although I have no respect or no soft heart for Orthodox and fundamentalist Muslims, as for most of human history, Orthodox and occultic Muslims have butted heads and been at war with each other since the conception of the religion. I will admit that my target audience for this video and the target reason why I am making this polemic and this argument is against Orthodox Muslims. So out of respect for them, out of respect for the people I have no respect for, yeah, kind of an oxymoron, right? I am not going to be showing any of this stuff inside of this book because I want to attract a Orthodox Muslim audience to school them on Islamic occultism versus Islamic orthodoxy. So this video will serve as a polemic and an argument against Islamic orthodoxy coming from an Islamic occultist. So, as the Orthodox Muslim would say, and still occultic Muslims would say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Uthman, but many people in the outside world call me Ken. I am the host of the Ikhwan Stahab, or the Brethren of Gold, and that is a neo-Hermetic Islamic organization that focuses around occultism and mysticism and magic, or what people call magic, in everyday religion, especially in the Quran and especially in the Islamic faith. So, why is magic permissible in Islamic occultism, I should say? The reason why magic is permissible in Islamic occultism is because we don't view what we're practicing as magic. You see, the Arabic and Orthodox institution has done a good job of confusing people and controlling definitions on these words. And so they've grouped all theurgical and mystical practices under one word, and this is sihr. Sihr denotes trickery, illusions, and sorcery. Now, in Islamic occultism, we don't practice trickery, illusions, and sorcery. We practice what Al-Buni, even in this book itself, calls hikmat, or wisdom. We practice theurgy, we practice white magic, not offensive magic. So you're probably asking then, Usman, doesn't in the Shams al Marif it say that you can get people to fall in love with you, you can subjugate the will of kings, you can conjure jinns to do your biddings? That is only if you're reading it on a surface level. You have to understand, the Shams al Marif is not for the average person to read. The average person is going to pick it up and think, wow, this is a really dark book that talks about manipulating other people's wills. But that on a surface level is just a bad reading of it, I would say. Because if you're looking at the Shams al Marif and getting that takeaway, what you're doing is you're reading it literally. And the main difference between Islamic occultists and Islamic orthodoxes, we don't take any of the Quran literally. Almost none of it. While they take a lot of it literally. So, why is it that Orthodox Muslims seem to detest the Shams al Marif? And I have a personal reason why I think this. It's because it exposes the religion for what it truly is. And that is a mystical, occultic, and magical religion. Islam is a religion of magic. Islam is a religion of occultism. But when you have books like that, again, I'm going to show you a cover, not going to show you anything in the book, but when you have a book like the Shams al Marif that is a full-on treatise explaining how Islam is a religion of magic and occultism, you will naturally get Muslims who are opposed to that view saying, hey, that's not true, but then if it's not true, why outlaw it in all Muslim countries and make a fatwa against it? It's because they're scared of the truth. Go figure, right? And I will get into further expoundings on what these chapters that people have made like 10, 20 minute long videos exposing the Shams al Marif is actually about. But I want to explain what I think the core value of the Shams al Marif is, as somebody who has actually read it, owns a copy, and studies it. The core value of the Shams al Marif is to point to the occultic origins of the Islamic faith, which again is very dangerous to Orthodox Muslims. If you reveal to them that their religion has occultic origins, that completely tears them down completely. So, what I mean by that is the core value of the Islamic faith, or the Orthodox faith of Islam, is the deity Allah. Most importantly, through his 99 names, is he worshipped and interactive with the world around us. And in the Shams al Marif, we see an expose of what these divine names actually are. They're talismans. And Al-Buni is graceful enough to actually show us how each and every single, all 99 names of Allah, it's very impressive, all 99 names of Allah have talismanic origins. They all can be fit within a numerical talisman that add up to a constant amongst the talismans. So what happens when the name of your deity ends up being a talisman, right? That is a very dangerous route you can go, and that's a very dangerous revelation to be given in a world and where Orthodoxy and Islam and Christianity and Judaism too is widespread across the globe and is propagated amongst the masses. So one thing I will agree with that Muslims say, or Orthodox Muslims say, about the Shams al Marif is that it is not for the average person to read. This book is heavily initiatory. It is for people who are in the realm of occultism, who are in the realm of mysticism and theurgical practices, and it is mainly for people who have studied it for a considerable amount of time, like myself. So it's a no-brainer to me that when people see certain passages in the Shams al Marif that on a surface level seem to be like you're manipulating other people's wills, what they actually are in reality is a conjuring of planetary energies. But the phrasing they use makes it seem to the average person like, oh, this is talking about an actual person that you're trying to manipulate, or an actual king you're trying to manipulate, or an actual jinn. Nada. And the actual Shams al Marif and the actual reading of the Shams al Marif, you understand that the phrasing they use, and in fact, if you follow the rituals in it, and if you understand the instructions in it, it pertains to a lot with what many Abrahamic occultic traditions abide by, and that is the 7 ancient spheres, this being the sun, the moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. The Shams al Marif at its core value is to show how Islam has always been a religion of occultism. It always has and it always will be. No matter if you are willingly doing this or not, or if you are intending to or not, Islam is a very magical religion. What I mean by that is that even in the Shams al Marif, it talks about how the 28 Arabic letters that compose the entire Quran, because you can't lie, the Quran is contingent upon the Arabic language in order for it to be composed. Even that has occultic origins. It has occultic origins in the Arabic manzil system, which encompasses the 28, just like how there's 28 Arabic letters, 28 lunar zodiacal phases. With the manipulation of kings, this is just easily misunderstood as you manipulating sovereign rulers of a country, when actually it's about the conjuring and the pathworking with planetary principles. Because in many different mystical and occultic traditions, the word king was meant to denounce or denote a planetary principle or ruler. In the Shams al Marif, there is a tons of theurgical practices that revolve around some key components of the Islamic faith: the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the Al-Fatiha, the Arabic letters, like I said, the 99 names of Allah, and all of this stuff is very key components to the Islamic faith. And so when you tear it down for what it truly is, um, uh, an occultic magical ritual, this is, like I said many times in this video, this just shocks the average Muslim. Do I blame Orthodox Muslims for misconstruing one of my religion's main handbooks? No, because they're not the people that this book was meant for in the first place. That's the thing, right? They were not the people that were meant to be revealed this book to. The Orthodox Muslims were meant to stay in their dogmatic ways and meant to stay in their dogmatic roots, and for the scholarly elect who knew about the occultic origins of Islam, these were the people who were supposed to read it. Unfortunately, due to consumerism and mass production of things, the Shams al Marif unfortunately gets in the hand of unlearned Muslims who think they know what the book is talking about because they're reading it on a surface level. And that's just really sad. So because of that, I want to get into some of my experiences with this, if you care to wonder about that. And that is my experiences with some of the talismans. I haven't used all of the talismans of Shams al Marif, obviously. That would take you well over a decade to really actualize all the rituals in there. But what I've done with a select few versions of the talismans that popped out to me and spoke to me, not actually literally, but spoke to me in a figurative way, is I noticed that there is a lot of symmetry in it. There's a lot of symmetry. There's a lot of good basis you can put in this. If you practice sigil magic, if you practice talismanic magic, this book is definitely gonna help you throughout the journey. It's gonna help you throughout the process of your journey, because the sigils that I have used in this and talismans I've used in this book have helped me seal away a lot of negative energy, have helped me seal away a lot of has been like points of meditation and focus for me, and has also been like points of like sanctification. So you're probably wondering, why can't you just read Quran, pray Salah, and do dhikr? I already do those things. But the thing is that occultic Islam is not meant to tear down Islamic sacraments like praying Salah, like reading Quran, like chanting dhikrs. It's to reinforce it. It is to reinstate them for what they truly are. Most people are doing these sacraments in the Islamic faith, like going to Hajj, praying 5 times a day, and reading Quran, because they want to secure some place in the afterlife. Being an occultist is not about that. It is about knowing oneself and sanctifying oneself to a high regard and attaining spiritual bliss. That is the actual payout that you actually receive from doing these sacraments. So one thing I want to simplify here is that an Islamic occultist is very similar to an Islamic Orthodox Muslim in the aspect of we still pray the same prayers at the same time, we still venerate the same scripture, we still chant the same mantras and dhikrs. However, it is with a different theory in mind. The practice is the same, the theory is different. The reason the theory is different is because the theory is what makes a religion what it is. And so when you mix Islam with occultic theory, you get a lot of beautiful, in my opinion, not even just results, because you don't want to be results based on your system, but you get a lot of beautiful revelations and personal findings in not even just reading Islamic and occult texts like the Shams al Marif, but also in the Quran itself too. The purpose of the Shams al Marif is to arm you with the knowledge to properly read the Quran for what it is. And that is an occultic and magical text. And yes, I believe the same thing about the Bible. So don't hit me with that. What do you gotta say about Christianity and Judaism? Most of this channel follows the occultic origins of all Abrahamic faiths, right? So once you are armed with the occultic knowledge of the Shams al Marif, you can apply that information to the Quran and then progressively understand how the Quran is one of the greatest grimoires of all time. The greatest Arabic grimoire is not the Shams al Marif. The greatest grimoire of all time is the Holy Quran. Because without the Holy Quran, there would be no Shams al Marif. There would be no Gayat al Hakim. There would be no De Imaginibus. Because the Quran is still the basis for Islamic occultism, just like it is for Islamic orthodoxy. It's just the theory behind it is different. And they can't stand that. Because we have been conditioned to believe in this generation that there are just Muslims and non-Muslims, right? There's just people who believe the Quran comes from God, and there's people who believe the Quran doesn't come from God. So what happens when you have people like us who are neither, who believe that the Quran comes from the occult and comes from the cosmos, it comes from astrology and all these different occultic practices that Muslims have outlawed in modern time? Well, you get a very dangerous person in the system in the eyes of Orthodox Muslims. I would actually kind of view the Shams al Marif as kind of overrated in my view. It's quite overrated in terms of what people think it entails or what people think you can do with it. It is a basis for understanding the occultism of the Quran, and because of that, that's what makes people overrate it all the way to hell. Because if you tear down the fundamental bases of Orthodox Islam, which you can do with the Shams al Marif, you will be seen as an enemy to the state in most Islamic countries. And guess what? I live in Canada, so I don't mind some Middle Eastern authorities wanting to kill me, because good luck trying to find me. So anyways, that has been my video. I'm going to leave at 17 minutes because we recite Surah Fatiha 17 times a day during the 5 prayers. So yeah, if you guys would like to see more videos and where we cover stuff like the Shams al Marif, and if you would like to see next Ramadan, inshallah, so yes, I still participate in Ramadan. I still participate in Islamic sacraments. It's just for a different reason, mind you. But next Ramadan, inshallah, we will be covering the Gayat al-Hakim, or the Picatrix, all in 30 days. So for next Ramadan, I will be filming a 30-part series for one video each and every single day for the Gayat al-Hakim, or the Picatrix, and my personal notes and views on it. This has been my polemics and my arguments against Orthodox Islam. Your religion is rooted in occultism. Deal with it. Peace out. Still 17 minutes.